good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Multiverse News. My name is Akeem Johnson, sitting here with one of my co-hosts, Stefan Landreth.
How's it going, Akeem?
It's going pretty good. How about yourself?
Well, good to be back.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of a break here with our recordings, but it's good to be back. Good to get this going, and I'm pumped for this weekend. Right.
In less than 6 hours, we have Pro Tour Aether Revolt in Dublin, Ireland.
So jealous.
Yeah, it's so awesome over there, I bet. It's going to start over here at Eastern Standard Time at 4 a.m., but for you guys on the Pacific side, West Coast, it's going to be 1 a.m., so at least it won't be too bad. But for us, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay up to watch the beginning of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I might be able to catch after a couple ceremonies, but probably at least when they get started with the draft, which leads me to the next thing. Is going to be the way the Pro Tour is going to play out, just like the last Pro Tour, is going to use this modified single elimination bracket that was announced prior to Pro Tour Eldritch Moon. Day 1 will consist of 3 rounds of booster draft, followed by 5 rounds of standard. Same thing for Day 2. And for the final day, the playoff day, it's going to be single elimination, best 3 out of 5, standard.
Yeah, well, it's like for the most part, every Pro Tour that's been up till now that I can recall seeing. So, I mean, shouldn't be too crazy, except for the one thing that they changed now going into this Pro Tour, Akeem. And what is that? Do you remember?
I think it had something to do with teams, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. I think you're right, sir.
All right, yeah, that's right. Pro Tour Series that was announced not too long ago. There are 32 teams that are going to be doing battle in the Pro Tour in the year 2016 to 2017. And we have a whole bunch of people just all grouped up and ready to take down this Pro Tour. Now, it still is a Pro Tour, like it's only one winner,
right?
But whoever makes it throughout the teams and throughout all the Pro Tours this year, it's gonna get some big buku dollars at the end of this. Yeah. So, what teams are you actually rooting for? I mean, 32 teams—that's a lot of options.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Right?
I have certain people that I always vote for and hope that I'll go the distance, but I think, just to be mildly biased, my first team that I have to go with is Team Magic Puzzle Quest. I mean, just because you've got your power players for the most part there. You've got the entire Peach Garden Oath group, John Finkel. You've got Andrew Cuneo and Paul Rietzel, all very, very, very impressive players to begin with. So
right,
the fact that they're all teaming with and practicing is going to be scary.
Exactly.
Sure.
And some of these members were a part of Channel Fireball's Team Pantheon for a while. They split off onto their own team. We all know about Reed Duke, the prodigal child, that he is going to be a Hall of Famer, no doubt, in the moment he's eligible. He might even get in the moment he's eligible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a little tough for him, I think. I mean, he's got a good start to a record. The problem is he just doesn't have the actual W's in the Pro Tour category.
Right.
He's been close so many times.
And not to mention his battles with Shinhar in the Worlds.
In the Worlds, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Stuff of legends.
He's definitely got the ability. He's got the sportsmanship, the etiquette of a player in general for it, but just those wins are gonna maybe turn a couple people away from it. But regardless, we're going off topic here a little bit.
I mean, you got Owen Turtenwall and Willie Jensen, as well as John Finkel. Johnny Magic does no wrong. I mean, he could come in and not do that well at a Pro Tour, and he still gets a camera on him just for the fact that he's Johnny freaking Magic.
I mean, there's nothing more that can really be said about that at all.
Right.
So I've already said one of mine. Who's one of the teams you're rooting for here?
So I'm a little bit biased myself, and as much as I love all these teams, number one's got to be Team Musashi. That's Japan's powerhouse team when Kentaro Yamamoto, Yuya Watanabe, Ken Yukuhiro, Yuki Ichikawa, Teruyu Kakume, and Shota Yasaoka. Shota Yasa freaking Oka. This is a powerhouse team for Japan that's gonna at least make an impact here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't be too biased about it. I know you are because of a couple names on there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
This is one of probably at least two of the Japanese power teams.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a very, very, very stacked team, regardless of how you slice it. Because I mean, Shota coming off being Pro Tour Aether Revolt champ.
Pro Tour Kaladesh.
Sorry, Pro Tour Kaladesh. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're in Pro Tour Aether Revolt.
I know, right? We're all already calling it. Pro Tour Aether Revolt. Shota Yasaoka back to back.
I don't even know what I'd say to that if he did that, just because he literally would have owned the entire Kaladesh block. Pro Tour champ. Anyway, yeah. Yuya Watanabe is an incredible player. I mean, you can say that about any of them. They're all fantastic Japanese players. So to see them teaming up together, practicing, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of them also made a really good run at it this year as well. So
exactly.
Another team I definitely want to make a shout out to, Team Mutiny.
Oh yeah.
It's got a couple of the oh god, what's the name of that group? What do they call themselves?
Oh jeez, I don't know.
SCG, the Roanoke crew. It's
cool.
got a couple of the Roanoke fellows out there.
Yeah.
With not so much Sam Black. He's not really a part of it, but he does a lot of work with them. He does a lot of work with SCG and Jerry T. Good old Jerry Thompson. And then David Ocha, big guy who always shows up on the Pro Tour.
Oh, yeah.
Albeit sometimes doesn't have the greatest runs, but he's always there. He's consistently on there. And for the most part, seems to do well for himself. Justin Cohen, also upcoming great player as well. And Joshua Cho. So.
Yep, exactly. So it's, I mean, also from people, there's certain members of a Magic show that airs every Wednesday on Twitch and YouTube, says that David Ochoa has actually been working really hard for this Pro Tour. So
nice.
I don't know. It might be he might pull something out of his butt here, and I like to see a good run out of him. The other team, aside from Musashi, it's got to be top level podcasts. I mean, Patrick Chapin, Craig Wesco, Raphael Levy, Brian Brown Doohan, Mike Huron, and Dan Lathner. That's a pretty good team. Just Patrick Chapin alone, and then you have 3 other members, as well as 2 other people that are on the up and coming. I'm actually can't wait to see this.
Yeah, that's another really, really powerful team. Just because, just looking at them alone, you've got a lot of people who cover different sides of the game. You've got your great constructed players, fantastic limited strategy players. It's just the well-rounded team in general, for the most part. So I hope to see. Granted, I know Craig's probably going to be playing some form of a
green-white tokens, probably.
Probably some kind of a weenie, white-ish, green and whitish weenie beatdown deck. I mean, I know he's posted a couple humans lists here with with the Mimic here, so
Ooh.
Maybe he brings something like that to the table. I don't know. Sees what their testing gives him here.
That's a pretty nice segue over to our next segment. We are nearly 3 weeks into the Aether Revolt Standard, and there's been 2 major tournaments along with a couple SCG Classics in Star City Games Columbus and Star City Games Richmond.
Right.
Both of those have been very indicative of what people think the most dominant decks are, and that's black-green and Saheeli combo.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I don't think that, well, albeit those are the only 2 major breakout tournaments we've had, I really don't think that they're going to probably reflect how the Pro Tour itself looks.
Yeah.
Just because they're the obvious go-to decks right now, so my guess is people are going to be testing around them.
Yes.
I mean, unless someone decides to make the guts call and try and play it and see how far it pushes it. But I think that we're going to see a little bit of ingenuity that we normally do with most of these Pro Tours.
Right.
I mean, Pro Tour Kaladesh was the big one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no one expected the Aether deck to make a breakout the way it did.
Yeah,
and that was crazy. So I wouldn't be surprised if something like this sneaks up.
Exactly, and then that was also the one where all those copies of Smuggler's Copter showed up and dominated every deck in the Pro Tour, minus the Grixis control deck by Shoni Asaoka, who decided to go back and beat down with Torrential Gearhulk.
And Thing in the Ice, from that.
That was good.
But I think Smuggler's Copter being gone and Reflector Mage and Emrakul, albeit, too, it's definitely going to change a lot of things up because it lets you, having been on the receiving end of many Reflector Mages, it's definitely a nice change being able to cast your 2 and your 3 drops.
Mm-hmm.
And know for the most part that they're going to stick. So it's...
Unless they're removed, but that's okay because they're not bounced in your hand. You
different.
Can't play it.
Yeah, that's different. Much more different. So it'll be interesting to see. I wish I was good enough to make a call as to what's going to show out, but unfortunately I'm not going to stick my neck out there and totally humiliate myself on a call. But I'm not going to be surprised if we see some kind of ridiculous combo deck, because it does look like there's a lot of potential for something like that to be in the format right now.
Especially, like I think this is the standard season of combo. I think the closest thing we had to like a dominant combo deck was way back in Jeskai Ascendancy, and people abusing that and Retraction Helix to do all sorts of stupid stuff. Yeah. But like, not only do we have the infamous Saheeli combo in 4-color in Jeskai variety, there's also Paradoxal Engine.
Yeah,
come on, that's a card waiting to be broken. I mean, Saffron Olive from MTG Goldfish already put out a budget deck around mono blue, around that card, and just going off. And it's like, wow, okay, Aetherflux Storm with Paradoxal Engine, that's good. You also, I mean, going back to the cat, it's a very potent combo. I mean, worst case scenario, they beat you down with a Torrential Gearhulk, or in the 4-color version, they beat you down with a whole bunch of flying 2/2s, 3/2s, draw cards.
As honestly, as both SCG tournaments, as their hosts, Cedric Phillips, all the SCG crew were kind of notating that these Jeskai combo decks, and probably most people anywhere can make the assumption is it's literally playing Splinter Twin in Modern. These decks are made to be, or if someone who's playing it or has constructed it properly, can literally make the deck set up to win with the combo or just win with Jeskai value. I mean, Torrential Gearhulk is not a card to scoff at.
Yeah.
There's a reason the card is played the way it is. It does disgusting things, period. And with the tools that surround it in those 3 colors, it's not difficult to win on the back of a single resolved Torrential Gearhulk and some Wandering Fumarals.
Exactly. Like, that's just the pressure that it can offer and different accesses. The fact that even if it's not a dominant deck after the Pro Tour, it's still warping in that you have to be aware that turn 3 to 4, you can't tap out. Because if you do, there's a chance that, like, they get Saheeli through crap. Valadar Guardian might be there, or it might not. He might just sit there and ping you with a Saheeli, and all of a sudden set up Torrential Gearhulk to kill you.
Yep. I mean, Saheeli's not anything to scoff at, period. She is good. Very, very good. Especially when you're copying Torrential Gearhulks.
Right?
Like, I mean, right, you don't even need the combo or the uptick. You know what? I just feel like casting another free Glimmer and hitting you for 10.
Or like, you got a creature in my way. Let me get this Hard as Lightning, get rid of that creature, slam in for 10.
It's just, she is a good card, and the fact that this cat is around will always have anybody who's sitting across from a Jeskai deck sitting there thinking, do they have this combo? It's got to be something that is always running through the back of your head when you're playing against that color combination. Got to be.
Exactly. I mean, the other deck, Black-Green Delirium or Green-Black Aggro, depending on your flavor, is also pretty powerful. Now, yes. I remember when Hangerback Walker was spoiled. And I was like, I don't know about this card. I mean, it's kind of good, kind of great. But then we saw Hangerback Walker in just about every single deck during his time in Standard. And that's kind of the feeling I kind of have with Walking Ballista. Is you put that in a strategy that can use his abilities, and it always has value. For one, okay, cool. You can stop the combo at any time now. You target it with removal, okay. In response, let me ping you some damage.
Having played with that card a bit at my local FNMs and a couple side tournaments that I played with a couple other friends and whatnot, it's disgusting.
Right.
What you can do with that card. It's just, no matter what you do, if it's not countered and it sticks, you're gonna get you've made value at that point for the most part, because in one way or another you are going to be able to do damage to your opponent, to a creature, to a planeswalker. It's gross what that thing can do.
Right, and especially something that can abuse his counters. Winding Constrictor?
Yes.
Like, man, that's a mythic uncommon if I've ever seen one.
I will tell you that coming into Aether Revolt, Winding Constrictor was one of my favorite cards coming out. Additional energy, additional counters. You know what's hilarious to do, Akeem? Have 6 energy, 2 Winding Constrictors, and a Long Tusk Cub.
Oh no!
My opponent decided to try and wipe the board with a Yahini's
expertise.
Uh-oh. And I decided, you know what? Everything was going to die. Why don't I just have an 8/8 Long Tusk Cub? He decided to do that to me again because he was playing zombies. And he had me sack all my creatures. I'm like, I get to keep one? Why don't I have an 8/8 Long Tusk Cub? And boys, that Voldaren Pariah staring me down was looking real awkward.
Yeah, that's, 5-6 flyers, nothing to scoff at, but an 8/8 that can just eat it. It's like, oh yeah, you want to block? Come on, I dare you.
Yeah. Winding Constrictor is probably one of my favorite cards, and in combination with Walking Ballista, it's not even fair. Not fair what that card combination can do.
I mean, I just like how, with Emrakul being gone, now this gives other decks a chance to actually want to do something.
Absolutely.
Because before, Emrakul was just looming over, and it's almost like you can play the infinite long game. As long as you get your Emrakul out, you get to dictate the flow of the game.
Right. It's just that one turn of being able to completely manipulate your opponent and throw them off whatever kind of game is just disgusting.
And the cost reduction, too. It's like the fact you can get them out for as early as 7 that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was...
Like, yeah, come on. Cost reduction is kind of broken, guys.
I was talking with a friend. Now, granted, this might not be a fix for the card. Obviously, we're no R&D. But we were talking, and if you just change the reduction from for every permanent to just having Delirium reduce the cost by 4 would be so much better than the continual reduction cost.
Yeah, like having it at 9 is way better than 7 because you have World Breaker to hit.
Right. Like, I mean, at that point you're sticking this, because if you look at it in comparison to the other 2 Titans, they're both sitting at 10. Kozilek and Ulamog are both 10 costs. The fact that you can get Emrakul down to a 7 is just more backbreaking. But if you can reduce that farther back by just having a Delirium reduction of 4 and sticking it at 9, you're still putting it in the same ballpark of those other Titans, but still having that same necessary effect of the Delirium mechanic being viable for Emrakul. So, but that's just our opinion. Again, there could be reasons it could have been something they tested already and went, no, not really a mythic value creature anymore. I don't know. Yeah. Mind Slavering, though, is always a particular unique effect to put on cards. So
definitely. I mean, granted, it was a flavor ballpark, but now this is like, you really get Eldritch Moon for a specific set of cards now, instead of the namesake card, which is Emrakul right on it. But, you know, that is what it is. The other cards that I expect to see at this big event, a Metallic Mimic is still a pretty good card.
Metallic Mimic is, like I said, I'm hoping to see Wesco busting it out a bit here. I feel like that would be something that is right up his alley. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine just because it's a deck, but I'd like to see some kind of a silly Aetherflux Reservoir deck come out of it.
Yep, exactly.
Just because the potential of the Storm with it is very viable.
That made coverage round 1 in SCG Richmond.
It did.
They even put the Storm counter on for it.
Another card that I think a lot of people are calling sleepers, but I completely agree having played with it, Inspiring Statuary.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that's a card that gets tested and sees a little bit of love here because, boy, does that generate you some mana if you've got some Lumen artifacts. So,
exactly. I mean, worst case scenario, it's a mana rock now.
Yes.
Like, that's the worst state.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty darn good, in my opinion.
That's not bad at all.
Indeed. So
Giving anything that doesn't normally have improvise. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
I know this is slightly off format, but I was thinking about it in Frontier. Dig through time with improvise.
Ugh. Improvise delve. Oh god. It's like, alright, I'll delve a little bit. I'll tap these artifacts.
Yeah.
With clues and stuff? Come on.
Yeah. just a little thing that was spitballing in my head one day. I'm sitting there going, ooh, that sounds real fun.
Right.
Anyway.
It should be fun, though. Pro Tour season is always wonderful. The pros have been testing for weeks, probably even longer than the moment the cards are spoiled, they more than likely were testing it. And Star City Games is very good about at least giving people an idea of the decks to look out for, giving them a base gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because then from there, they do their own thing. But that's not the only thing that's going on this weekend, is it?
No, it's not, Akeem. You're not wrong. And I like the way how you're bringing this up and staring at me, too, man. I can really feel the pressure and the heat coming on from you, not gonna lie.
It's really hot in here, but...
anyway. But yes, to answer your question, Akeem, yes, we've got regionals coming up this week. Good chance to get out, play a bit of Magic during Pro Tour weekend, because besides the Pro Tour, there's not really nothing else going on. They're being hosted Saturday, February 4th, in your local area. I actually am going.
Oh, yeah, you are. You and the people are going down.
Yeah. The only catch about it is Modern, so it'll be interesting. To say I'm rusty on the Modern format meta is exaggerating a bit. I've not really dipped. This will be my first dip into the Modern format in a higher caliber playing level, so this will be fun.
Oh, you'll be fine. What are you battling with?
I will be dredging and hoping to get some Narcomoebas and some Bloodghasts.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm hoping that with Grave Troll being banned again, that people are on the downtick for the hate for Dredge. I mean, obviously, I know it's always going to be there. I know I'm probably going to see my Rest in Peace and my... Oh, right. Grafdigger's Cage, and the big one that is always annoying is Leyline of the Void.
There we go.
Yes, Leyline of the Void. That's the one I'm hoping to dodge. But hopefully the makeup that I've got isn't too terrible. I mean, hell, I even put in one little land to make sure that I can even cast my prized amalgams and my Narcomoebas if I need to. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So you get that, you were one of the first 200, so you get that mat and that awesome token, right?
Yes, I will, thankfully.
Cool. Awesome.
Yep, I'm going to Dublin myself, but it's Dublin, Ohio.
Right.
Not Dublin,
so
Ireland.
Close. Just, a whole other country.
Yeah, across the pond, Akeem.
Oh, man.
It's a little bit more than just that, man. It's across the pond.
Oh, jeez. But definitely, I wish you luck, man. I want you to tear it down, the house.
I'm going to try. I'm going to give it the good old college effort.
Mm-hmm.
Not the freshman college effort, more like the junior college effort.
Okay, give at least a C here. Like, toward the end, during your whole, your internships and stuff. Come on.
I wouldn't say I've got quite that senior level, maybe, of capability. But I'm going to try and give it the junior, the junior college effort anyway.
For sure. We'll be wishing you luck. We'll also be doing our very best to report any of the results that go on in the Pro Tour Aether Revolt. So we'll also be checking on you as well, giving updates on that. But, all in all, this is an exciting time to be a magician, a planeswalker, playing Magic the Gathering. Like, for real. It's like a whole new format's going on. This could make or break. This could determine the fates of Standard in 5 weeks when that banding announcement comes out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, they're pros for a reason. They are fantastic people at being able to read the game, read the meta.
Yep.
They're able to notice those interactions that we common players who aren't quite at that level are able to notice those interactions. So it'll be very interesting, and I'm always excited this time of year to see what kind of decks they bring out.
Yep.
So, I mean, at this point, there's nothing more we can say other than I hope it's a good weekend. I hope nothing crazy and it's an enjoyable happens, and that we have... one thing I always hope for in a Pro Tour, especially if I'm not playing, of course, is we have a diverse top 8. That's always what I hope for, is a diverse top 8 with a couple surprise decks that you didn't expect making the top 8, and someone who maybe hasn't made that run yet to show up, because there's always that underdog, and it's always a good feeling of having someone like that do that. So it's normally what I always hope for. I still have my people that I root for, of course, but that's really what I look for in a Pro Tour, especially towards top 8 time.
It makes for an excellent story to tell and narrate. I can say words.
Things and words.
Things and words and things.
Guys, thank you for listening to us. We really appreciate it. Over the weekend, please keep in touch with us. You'll be seeing captions from us on Twitter with local updates. You'll be able to keep up to date with on the Pro Tour over the weekend with Facebook as well, so catch for those. Who knows? We may even throw some questions out to you guys. But just be on the lookout for us, please.
Yep, and that is going to do it for another episode of Loyalty Counters. You can follow us at loyalty_counter on Twitter.
You can also follow me at Finny91, spelled FINNYIE 91.
And you can find me at Musamichi, that's MUSAMICHI.
And this has been Multiverse News. I'll see you guys on the uptick.
Catch you later.